Hey everyone, and welcome. So let's talk about something you've probably experienced. You use AI to whip up this really cool demo, maybe in like 30 minutes. It works, kinda. And now you're just staring at it thinking, okay, how in the world do I turn this fun little experiment into a real product that people can actually use? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down. Let's dive into the playbook. The gap between a demo and a real product is just massive. On one side, you've got the demo. It's like a house of cards, built super fast, looks amazing from a distance, but you know it's incredibly fragile. On the other side, you have the product. That's a fortress. It's reliable, it's secure, and it's ready for actual users. One is just a spark, the other is a real business. And that right there is the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do we bridge that chasm without losing all the speed and, the magic that AI gave us in the first place? Well, that's exactly what we're about to unpack. We've got a super clear roadmap for this. We're going to kick things off by really defining the challenge. Then we'll introduce a new way of thinking, a philosophy for building with AI. We'll look at the best tools for the job, walk through a step-by-step playbook, and wrap up with some absolutely crucial rules for success. All right, let's get into it. First things first, let's really frame the problem we're all trying to solve here. It's such a common feeling, right? You have something that totally proves the concept, a little piece of vibe code that just captures the essence of your idea. But you know deep down that this thing would completely fall apart under the pressure of real users, real data, and real-world chaos. The demo? That was the easy part. Making it tough enough for the real world is the real work. To really solve this, we need more than just a checklist. We need a whole new mindset. Let's call it the production vibe philosophy. Now here's the key idea. The answer is not to get rid of the vibe. We absolutely want to keep that AI-powered speed and creativity for, say, about 75% of the work. The trick is adding that other 25% of human-led structure. We're talking about planning, smart prompting, real testing, and just good old-fashioned discipline. It's the perfect mix of machine speed and human intelligence. And a huge part of this philosophy is a principle called minimal review. This means you don't need to stress out about every single line of boilerplate code the AI spits out. Instead, you trust it with the routine stuff. That frees you up to focus your expert human brain where it really, really counts, on security holes, performance issues, and the core business logic that makes your apps special. Okay, a philosophy is great, but you need the right tools to actually make it happen. So let's talk about the recommended AI-native tech stack for building products right now. We're keeping it simple but incredibly powerful. For your IDE, your main coding environment, Cursor is, hands down, the best choice for its raw productivity. For your backend, Supabase is a lifesaver. It gives you auth, a database, storage, all in one package. It's a massive accelerator. And for your front end and getting your app online, Vercel just makes it seamless. This trio is the most mature, fastest way to get a new project off the ground. And now we've arrived at the heart of this whole explainer. This is the actionable 5-phase playbook that'll take you from a totally blank folder all the way to a launched product. The whole process is broken down into 5 really clear phases. We start with solid planning, then we move to a quick initialization. After that, we hit the main loop, modular development. Then it's time to test and deploy. And finally, we start iterating based on real user feedback. It's a simple, structured cycle you can use over and over. Now get this is the amazing part. For a solo developer who follows this playbook, you can go from just an idea to a production-grade minimum viable product, an MVP, in just 1 to 2 weeks. I'm not talking about another fragile demo. I'm talking about a real, shippable application. This is the power of using AI the right way. And if we break that timeline down even more, it feels so manageable. Planning is just a couple of hours. Setting up the project is less than an hour. Yeah, the bulk of your time, maybe 3 to 10 days, is in development. And then you set aside a few solid days for testing and deployment. It makes the whole thing feel totally achievable. So how does the AI actually fit into this? Well, right from the very beginning, in phase 0. Instead of spending a whole day writing a boring product requirements document, or PRD, you give the AI a super detailed prompt like this one. You tell it your features, your tech stack, and boom, it generates a whole plan for you. All you have to do is refine it. That's what we mean by human-led structure. Then we get into development, and this prompt right here is a perfect example of what's called defensive prompting. See, you're not just vaguely saying add a login, you're being incredibly specific. You're naming the tools, the methods to use, the exact routes to protect, and even the UI framework. This level of detail guides the AI to write secure, production-ready code on the very first try. It's a game changer. And remember, AI isn't just for writing new code, it can be your security partner too. When you get to the testing phase, you can prompt it to act like a security auditor. It'll scan your code for all the common vulnerabilities, SQL injection, cross-site scripting. And what's wild is it can often just fix the problems it finds on its own. For solo dev, that's just incredible. Okay, we've covered the philosophy, the tools, and the playbook. Let's just wrap up with a few key rules to make sure you stay on the right track and avoid all the common mistakes. Here are a few final rules to lock in. First, always plan before you code. Use rule files to keep your AI focused. Remember to practice minimal review. Don't waste your energy on boilerplate. Commit to Git constantly. Save your progress. Start with free service tiers to keep your costs at zero. And here's a pro tip. Use a tool like V0 to quickly prototype your UI, then just bring that code into Cursor to refactor it and build the real logic. So there you have it. That huge chasm between a fun demo and a product that creates real value, it's not some giant leap of faith anymore. It's just a series of deliberate, smart, AI-assisted steps. You've got the mindset, you've got the modern tech stack, and you have the entire playbook. So the only question left is, what amazing thing are you going to go build with it?